In this quiet instant, notice how the mind begins to let go. Snow drifts slowly, almost lazily, and the city's lights shimmer gently in the darkness. The air is soft, the streets are hushed, and your body begins to remember the ease of stillness. Breathe deeply, slowly, and feel the night cradle you in its calm embrace. Good evening. I'm George Ellington. You found stories for sleep. Tonight, we will wander together through a dreamy Parisian winter night, along the Seine as snow falls silently, like a gentle dream. Not to keep you awake, but to guide you slowly, peacefully, naturally, into sleep. Paris, at night during winter, carries a particular hush. The Seine's waters reflected the lamps along the quays like molten gold, rippling slowly beneath each bridge. Snow fell in steady spirals, settling gently over cobblestones, benches, and rooftops, softening the city until it felt paused, suspended, and quiet. Each flake, each lamp, each distant shadow seemed to stretch time, slowing it, stretching it, until the world itself exhaled into calm. A narrow street led toward the river. Small cafes glowed warmly through frosted windows, spilling the scent of chocolate, coffee, and pastries into the quiet streets. A solitary figure, Julien, wrapped in a thick scarf and wool coat, walked lightly along the snowy path. Each footfall was muffled, gentle, deliberate. His breath formed soft clouds that floated slowly and dissipated into the night air. He paused on a small bridge, letting his gaze drift over the smooth, flowing water. Snowflakes fell like drifting feathers, catching the soft glow of street lamps lining the Seine. Boats moored along the river floated silently, their reflections shimmering like liquid silver. The air was still, carrying only the faint rhythmic murmur of water over stone, as though the city itself were breathing slowly. From the corner of the bridge, a soft bell chimed, a cafe door opening. Sophie, carrying a small book and wrapped in a soft scarf, stepped into the golden lamplight. Their eyes met, not in surprise, but in the recognition of quiet, of calm, of a night suspended in snow and light. Bonsoir, Julien said softly. Bonsoir, she replied, voice slow, warm, careful not to disturb the hush of night. Without speaking further, they began to walk together along the Seine, letting the soft snow guide their steps. Each footfall was a lullaby. Each breath slowed naturally in the crisp air. The Seine flowed beside them, reflecting every lamp, every flake, every soft movement with perfect clarity. They reached a low bridge spanning the Seine. Julien paused, resting his gloved hands on the stone railing. The air, the water shimmered in gold, silver, and shadow. Snow settled gently on the edges of the bridge, a soft blanket muting the city. Sophie leaned on the railing beside him. "It feels like a dream," she whispered. Julien nodded. A city asleep in snow, The world seems paused just for us. The soft patter of snow on the stone created a quiet rhythm, a gentle percussion accompanying the flow of the river. Light from the lamps danced on the moving water, blending with the shadows of the bridges. Each moment felt endless, slow, perfect for resting the mind. They wandered toward a small cafe tucked under a warm lamplight, its windows fogged gently from the heat inside, hinting at cocoa, pastries, and soft conversation. The bell above the door jingled softly as they entered. Inside, the fireplace glowed, casting amber light over wooden floors and velvet chairs. The smell of warm chocolate and sweet pastries filled the air. They sank into 2 chairs near the fire, letting the warmth seep into their hands and shoulders. The fire crackled softly. Outside, snow continued to fall, each flake a tiny, perfect pause in the night. Neither spoke much. Words were unnecessary. The warmth, the light, the quiet rhythm of snowfall and crackling embers carried a sense of peace deeper and deeper into their bodies. After lingering, they stepped back into the snowy streets. The city felt lighter, quieter. They passed a small Christmas market. Wooden stalls were decorated with twinkling lights, garlands, and softly scented candles. Toys, ornaments, and warm bread were displayed carefully, though few patrons remained. Children's laughter drifted faintly, distant and gentle. Lanterns swayed softly above the stalls. The couple moved slowly, allowing each scene to imprint gently on their minds, each step echoing softly, rhythmic and hypnotic. The snowflakes brushed their scarves and coats. The air smelled faintly of pine and cinnamon. The lights reflected in puddles that hadn't frozen yet, creating small, mirrored worlds along the cobblestone streets. They returned to the riverbank. Empty benches were dusted with snow, each lamp casting a golden halo on the ground. The Seine flowed slowly beneath the bridges, reflecting the snowfall and city lights. The river hummed a lullaby, Sophie whispered. Julien nodded, feeling the hush of night fill his chest. Each breath slowed, each heartbeat seemed longer, deeper, calmer. Snow drifted on the riverbank, melting softly on benches, on scarves, on hair. The world had become soft, gentle, slow, perfect for rest. They rose from the bench, moving back along the Seine. Footsteps were slow, deliberate, rhythmic. Snow fell lightly, dusting rooftops and trees, blanketing the city in silence. Every lamp along the river glimmered, reflected in the rippling water. The faint hum of distant traffic was muted entirely by the snow's soft weight. Passing beneath another bridge, Julien paused again. "Do you feel it?" he asked. "This quiet, this stillness, like the world itself is breathing with us." Sophie nodded. "Yes, it's a gift, to walk slowly, to notice, to just be." Time seemed suspended. Snowflakes, river ripples, lamplight reflections, and quiet bridges combined into a slow rhythm of peace. Each step carried the mind deeper into calm, each breath another layer of rest. They returned once more to the warm cafe. The fireplace glowed, flames flickering slowly, softly. They sank into chairs, shoulders relaxed, eyes half closed. The cafe smelled faintly of chocolate, pine, and fresh pastries. Minutes passed like gentle waves. Snow continued to fall outside. Every light, every shadow, every small movement reinforced the sense of calm. They were cocooned in warmth and stillness. The river outside shimmered faintly. Bridges reflected the city's soft glow. Snowflakes fell slowly, endlessly. Time stretched, slow and deliberate, carrying body and mind toward rest. Eventually, the fire settled into glowing embers. The snow continued to drift, soft, gentle, endless. The river's subtle hum carried like a lullaby. Lamplight reflected on icy patches along the Seine. Julian and Sophie rested in the warmth. Breathing slowed naturally. The city seemed paused entirely, holding the night for anyone wishing to drift into sleep. Now your mind drifts along with them, slowly, softly, peacefully, completely, into sleep. The snow falls. The lights shimmer. The river whispers. The night embraces. And you drift slowly, peacefully, completely into sleep.